President Obama and Chancellor Merkel both said the Kremlin will face new sanctions if it continues to interfere in Ukraine, and particularly in that country's presidential election set for May 25th. Russia has consistently denied such interference.
The Russian leadership must know that if it continues to destabilize eastern Ukraine and disrupt this month's presidential election, we will move quickly on additional steps, including further sanctions that will impose greater costs.
The
25th of May is not all that far away. Should that not be possible to stabilize the situation, further sanctions will be unavoidable.
Mr. Obama and Ms. Merkel met shortly after Ukraine launched its first major offensive against pro-Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. 2 Ukrainian pilots taking part in the raids were killed when their helicopters were shot down in Slovyansk. Officials in Moscow said the offensive means the Geneva Agreement to defuse tensions is doomed. Russia called a United Nations Security Council meeting Friday to discuss the situation. Russia's UN ambassador, Vitaly Churkin, called on Ukraine and what he called its Western enablers to not commit a fatal error and stop Kiev's offensive. Washington's UN envoy Samantha Power defended the Ukrainian action.
The country that has a right of self-defense, Ambassador Churkin, is Ukraine.
U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel, speaking Friday at Washington's Wilson Center, called on America's NATO allies to increase spending on joint defense. He said alliance members have had a false sense of security since the end of the Cold War.
We must see renewed financial commitments from all NATO members. Russia's actions in Ukraine have made NATO's value abundantly clear. And I know from my frequent conversations with NATO defense ministers that they do not need any convincing on this point.
Ukraine has reported many pro-Russia separatists dead and wounded in its operation. Kent Klein, VOA News, Washington.